Where to go? All right. Welcome everybody to the recycling bin. There are now 10 of you left, and in this round, 5 people won individual immunity. Tommy, how does that affect the dynamic of this game, knowing that half of you are safe?
It was annoying because that's exactly the other 4 people that I wanted out of the game. So like that was just super unfortunate for me.
All right, Bruce is one of those 4 people that Tommy is actively wanting out of this game. Where do you stand on that? Are you a target?
Well, I wanted him out too, so I was equally as annoyed that he did so well in the challenge. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I mean, I think if you're at these tribals and thinking that you're not a target, like you're mistaken. Like I feel like everybody is. We've all made it to this point in the game because we are good players and we all have strengths and we all have capabilities of winning the game. And if you feel like you're not a target, that's when you're in the most danger.
Chrisanne, we experienced another very split vote. It was very close. It was 6-5. Why do these recycling bins continue to be split so down the middle?
Well, Topher, that is a lovely question. I really wish I had an answer for you. Wait, give me a sec. Let me think. I was taking a nap, so my brain needs to reboot. I just think it all has to do with communication, like who's communicating with who hears what, like through the grapevine and decides, okay, this seems like majority, so I'll just work with that. So yeah, I think it's just, we could just talk it up to communication.
Okay. Susie, how do you feel communication is on this tribe as a whole, this folder as a whole?
Great.
Is that it? That's all you just, hey, that's it? That's all I'm getting?
I cannot confirm nor deny.
All right. What do you make of that, Jonah?
What was that?
What do you make of that?
Make of what? What Susie said or your question?
Yeah. We asked about communication on the tribe. Susie says, hey, nothing more. What do you think? What's
Hey.
happening right now?
Hey, how's it going?
No,
conversation.
I said great, and that's
Oh,
great. She said great. Okay, Jonah, do you agree with Susie? Is communication great on this tribe?
yeah, it's like, it's not non-existent. I mean, there is communication, which is good, and I think communication is probably like the biggest aspect in Survivor. But yeah, everyone's communicating, at least, to my knowledge. I'm not sure if it's like the same way for other people, but on my end, communication seems to be flowing pretty well.
Lauren, do you feel like there's anybody that's not communicating?
Yeah. I'm not gonna I mean,
Okay.
I'm not gonna say names, but I mean, it's kind of obvious.
Does the lack of communication affect the vote? I'll ask that way then.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not gonna say much, then kinda, I mean, it makes it hard to find out where your head's at and stuff like that. So I'd rather have honesty and know what's going on. So
All right. Alex, do you feel like you know what's going on in this game?
I mean, at this point, I sure hope so. I talked about this last time. It was kind of, and like as a follow-up, I guess it's kind of wild, to come from a simple, like a pretty simple pre-merge vote and then come into, all this chaos and all the like these split votes coming out of nowhere. So at this point, all I can do is hope that I know what's happening and hope that I can, trust the people that I've been talking to.
Tanner, do you agree that chaos is how this folder would be described? And if not, how would you describe it?
I think there's been like chaos and confusion. I'm not going to name names, but that was pretty much what's on my end.
All right. Morgan, it feels like everybody has been fairly tight-lipped tonight. Does this mean something big is about to happen?
Great question. I don't necessarily. Wait, what was the question? Sorry, one more time. I'm tired.
It feels like everybody's being super tight-lipped tonight. Does that mean something big is about to happen?
I think what's about to happen will make do this. I think what's about to happen will be good for the future of this tribe as far as trust and honesty.
Does anybody feel in danger and wants to like fight for themselves or give this to have an opportunity to just say anything? Alex.
Okay.
Oh, I feel like I'm in so much. Sorry, I just wanted to do a bit. No, I'm.
Guys,
Sorry.
don't vote me out. I know how to fish, and I could start the fire by myself. So
She sleeps all day. Vote her out.
Like I do like you guys, and I've been honest with some, and so.
All right. Well, this has been a pretty quiet recycling, Ben. Absolutely riveting. Great television for the first time that we're ever live. So thank you all. Hopefully, this vote will be extra exciting. We don't know. We'll see. But before we get to this vote, with 5 of you in danger, only 5, does anybody have anything that they need to say? All right, then it is time to vote. You all know how this works. What's going to happen is I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to mute myself, and then you are going to cast your vote in your prod chat. If you've already pre-voted, you can feel free to vote for the same person again, or you can change your vote at this time. Either way, I need you to bump your vote to the top of your prod chat. I will then tally the votes, and when I come back on screen, somebody will be deleted. But remember, while I'm away, you can talk about anything you want except for this game or the vote.
In the meantime, if you guys want to do any shout outs, feel free to do shout outs. Thank you.
Shout out to Inferno. Shout out to Morgan. Help me out on who I should shout out.
What?
I'm stuck on who else, on which and what I should shout out on.
Well, you don't
Shout out to Nicole for carrying me to my 6 points and barely being safe.
Shout out to my prod guest, Lyndon.
Shout out to Heather for not being my prod guest, but still listening to me talk about this game for way too long. And then shout out to Mikey, who is my prod guest.
shout out to Aaliyah, who was my prod guest for the challenge and refuses to leave. Yeah.
Shout out to my prod guest, Jess. Love you.
Not the Jen popping up for a second.
So the weather's pretty nice, eh?
Yeah, like I get weird weather. Like one day it snows, like one day it rains, and then the next day there's like it gets sunny, and then
Yeah, that's how it is in Canada. Like you could leave your house wearing your winter jacket, and by the end of the day, you need like rain boots. It's actually kind of ghetto up here. Would not
Tanner, where are
recommend
you
this
from?
country.
Oh, sorry, Chris Ann, I thought you were done.
where am I from?
Yeah.
I'm from Eastern Washington.
Oh, okay. Okay. That makes sense for the weather.
Yeah, like
Exactly. Where Bella's
it's
from?
it's pretty it's not really bad, but it's sort of chilly. It's like 42 degrees. I
Tommy,
almost can't hear you now, Tommy.
Oh, that's because I was muted, but I did say, oh my God, that's so cold.
you said 42 is cold?
Yeah, 42 is cold.
I think it was like 28.
Oh,
Not to gatekeep being
It
cold
was
or anything.
28 when
Oh, you know,
it
no,
was
I hear you
28. It was
gatekeeping
28
weather.
one time
Sorry.
for me.
Wait,
Like,
Alex,
it's like
where are you
No.
from?
42.
I'm
is
from-
shout
not
out to South
cold.
Florida for being
I'm
hot.
sorry. I didn't mean to come out that way. I'm from Jersey.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's probably cold.
That was my bad. I'm sorry.
Well, it was -16 up here last week. So if we're Celsius.
It was 80 in
All
Texas.
right, I am back. I have the votes. But before I read the votes, if anybody has a hidden USB or other advantage that's relevant right now and would like to play it, now is the time to do so. All right, once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person who has the most votes will be deleted and will have a moment to speak their piece, and then they must leave the Zoom immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote. Jonah. Tanner. One vote Jonah, one vote Tanner. Tanner. 2 votes Tanner. Tanner. That's 3 votes Tanner, 1 vote Jonah. Lauren. 1 vote Lauren. 3 votes Tanner, 1 vote Jonah. Tanner. 4 votes Tanner. Eighth person deleted from the system is Tanner. Ninth person.
Good
deleted.
job, Jonah.
Second member of the jury. Tanner, you may.
Here's some like word of advice. Be careful how you say your arguments, because you can be looked at for something like this.
All right. Thank you, Tanner. All right. Tanner has been deleted. This appears to be the most unified vote that this folder has had yet. So that's the good news.